one of the biggest fights of the year, so we have to get one of the biggest guests that we get all year. Eddie Croft, great trainer, great fighter. Gervonta Davis, Lamont Roach. Give us the analysis for those people that are eager to spend their money.
Look, I think that as usual, Tank will be on a seek and destroy mission, and he will like take his time patiently, kind of inch his way forward. Try and he'll try to make Lamont miss a little bit, but if the speed, because Lamont's like speed, and he's got a lot of speed, and he's feints. He's kind of good at like disguising what he's going to throw. So I think that Gervonta will have to like use some more like hands and arms and blocking for defense, as opposed to just like slipping punches and quick feet. And once he, can kind of get the range and the timing, he should be able to exploit some openings and finish it early. I haven't seen Lam Lamont Roach Jr. really get cracked. So, I mean, he probably has got a tough, really good chin. Nobody gets to that level without it. Well, I shouldn't say no one, but most fighters don't get to that level without a chin, um, or at least the ability to recover from punches. Some people like their chins might not be the sturdiest, but they recover quickly, and he may fall in that category. But I've always felt that Hank Gervonta Davis is a special fighter, and I was kind of going over it in my head, Lukie. And I remember one time you were at my gym, and I can't remember what year this was, and it might have been when Ricardo was still fighting. This is how long ago it was, but you were asking me who the of the newer crop of fighters who I liked, and this was before Davis won a title. And I go, I like that. I like Gervonta Davis. I like a lot of things that he does, and I think he's going to be good.
No, he's special. I remember you told me that he slips the punches and his defense turns into offense, which is one of the things that makes him very, very tough to fight.
Right. I'm glad that you remember that. Yes, yes,
I
and
remember these things, man, because like those are learning lessons, right? You learn these things. It's like I was telling someone the other day, experience isn't like something that can be taught per se, but it's going to your gym for like a year over the period of 10 years. You pick up little things and you might not always remember it, but now you know the things to look for. Like, he looks dead on the scale. Oh, he's slipping punches. It's just little things.
yeah, yeah. Well, thank you.
Oh,
Yeah, and so that was one of the things that I really liked about him. Um, and it's kind of one of the nuances people don't pick up on usually right away. And but I could see it in him, like before he won a title.
yeah, he's really good. Now, my question to you is when fighters bring up retirement, it scares me. And he's saying that boxing, I don't want to put words in his mouth, but it sounds like he
Yeah.
doesn't have a huge passion for boxing. It was a way for him to make money. He's very good at it, but he sees a retirement because he feels a lot of pressure, it seems. There's other things too. What do you make of a fighter saying they're thinking about retirement in the near future, given that always makes me nervous?
No, I agree with you. And I haven't really I don't follow or like listen to like a lot of when people a lot of the interviews as much as I should anymore. I just kind of like watching the fights, right? And yes, I agree with you, though it is a concern when fighters start talking about when it's time to walk away. Because really, if you have like one eye on the door, you probably should go, right? If um because as soon as you're not completely focused, 100% focused is when you get hurt, right? So or you get beat. Um, and so, yeah, that definitely is something uh, that Roach Jr. could possibly exploit because if you're looking at retirement and you're thinking about it, you go, okay, well, you know what? I made this much money, I got this much invested, I've got this much in residual income, it'll last me this long. If I live frugally, it'll last me the rest of my life. Most of my kids will be taken care of too. Then, you know what? What are you fighting for? What are you fighting? And these, if you're thinking of it in that way, you're not going to train the way you should. So that definitely could be something that works in Roach Jr.'s favor.
I also think that like Lamont's only way to win, in my opinion, is to punch with Gervonta. He has to punch with him and he has to catch him at some point. He can outbox him, but I don't think it's possible to outbox Tank for a 12 round fight. At some point, he's going to catch you. The only path to victory I see is punching with him. If he catches Gervonta, I'm curious to see how Gervonta responds to that with these comments.
Yeah, I mean, because like sometimes you're right with those types of comments. You're like, what am I doing this for? I don't need to do this. But I also don't look at Roach Jr. as such a huge puncher that it's gonna, make you rethink your life when you get hit, right? Where if Gervonta hits you, you're rethinking your life. You're like, what am I doing? Like the one dude that I see double. This fight's done. I can't see straight, right? Um, and so I hopefully, you know, I, I am looking forward to a good fight, especially after talking about that, right? I expect it to be a little bit more competitive than what I did originally, and not only that, it's just the whole regional aspect of it is intriguing.
They know each other.
Yeah, yeah, they know each other, and there's like a rivalry, between their little areas. So you always that's always fun to see, and that yeah, all the everybody gets bragging rights, and you know, Roach Roach Senior's seems to be a decent coach. You know, you
He's a
got
great coach, man. I know him and
yeah.
he
I mean, he's a good coach. I gotta say, like I'm 0-1 against him right now. So he probably wouldn't even know me, but
Yeah, you'd be surprised. Benjamin Johnson and all those guys, they got a good team there. I just think that there's going to be people are underestimating a lot going into this fight, and the regional side of it, I think, is going to play a factor. It's a
yeah,
shame we never got an SF Oakland fight at a high level.
yeah. I mean, well, there hasn't been two guys. I think has there? I'm trying to think. I can't think of
Not in
ever.
my lifetime. I can't
Yeah.
think of two guys, but I mean,
I
it's
mean, like the biggest regional fight that we had, San Francisco Open that we've had in a while. And
Chico Lyle.
yeah, Belial and Chicas, right? And that just like that, like little club fight was the atmosphere was so intense. Like I, didn't even really like I didn't think about it like leading up to the fight. Um, but once we got there, and I was like, wow, you know what? I didn't even like think about that. Like it just never crossed my mind. It never crossed my mind until like, the fight started happening or we're at the fights and you know, that was it was a fun night and it was almost an awesome, magical night for us, but it turned around and became kind of a bummer.
Yeah, well, for those that aren't subscribers, you guys ship over to the newsletter now to get the final thoughts on this one. I